Hello everybody, this is Pat Walker, Mission Winners, doing a video overcap of the ETFs. Why do we do this? Here's a fact. Leading groups produce leading stocks produce leading groups. Looking at the ETFs gives us guidance on where there's strength to potentially make money and also areas to avoid to keep us safe. So let's go across here and take a look. This is the biotech ETF. You can always see right up there, there's the ticker symbol, BBH. You know, it's got higher lows, but it's pretty choppy here. There's not a lot of power. Be careful with that, okay? Cloud computing, maybe across these tops right here, but a lot of overhead. Be careful. I'll make this a little bit tighter so you can see what I'm talking about. There we go. Let's continue onwards. Electric vehicles. Picked up a little bit today. Potential higher low, but a tremendous amount of overhead here, okay? Be careful with that. Dow Jones Internet. That picked up a little bit, has a higher low setup, volume pickup today, technology related. That's good to see. Not a great pattern here, okay? Tons of overhead, but it is starting to show some life. IBD 50 starting to show a little bit of life here too. Volume was just okay, it wasn't even average. So not a lot of conviction there, things to be worried about, or concerned about, I should say. Gold miners picked up, has a higher low, resistance right here at the 50-day. This is the falling 200-day. There's a lot of overhead supply in here, so be careful. I'll shrink this a bit so you can see what I'm talking about. There you go. The next one here is gold. Same situation, not a lot of leadership there. Biotechnology, yeah, it's so-so, just so-so. People say, oh, that's a good green bar. I'd like you to note it opened here and closed here, right at the 200 day. There's resistance there. Be careful with that. Online retail, it's pretty rough here, folks. I'd be careful with that. Oil and gas exploration, this one looks better than a lot that we just saw, doesn't it? And that's also why we are heavy and Mission Winners in energy stocks. It leads us there. You'll have more evidence of that. Technology, software, not so much power there. Medicine, not so powerful, folks. Be careful with that. Mid-cap, higher low setup, not a lot of power. You've got to be careful. Just kind of watch these. Home construction, it's actually at a lower low. See this? This low's lower than this low and this low. Not much power there. Be careful. S&P 500 growth. There's a higher low setup on a pickup in volume. That's a viable setup. This is a higher low here too, and I'm going to show you another one in a minute that was more relevant. IWM has a higher low. That's a plus. This low is higher, this low, and it had good volume. What would you want to see? Take out the highs of that bar right there with volume. But note, there's a lot of overhead, so you still got to be a little cautious here. Online retails, airlines has a higher low setup, some life there, not a lot of volume power, all right? Regional banks, there's not much power there, folks. Fell on really heavy volume on Thursday, up on less volume today, so be cautious with regional banks. Mid-cap, higher low setup, slight volume pickup. You can see the common theme here. There's a lot of industry sectors, ETFs, that have a higher low. That's a potential start for a lift. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it can. It can. It happened here. Higher low setup and a good advance. We were part of that, by the way. Look at this. Oil services. Look at this lift. I just showed you a bunch that's like, yeah, maybe a higher low. Look at this. Look at the strength. We own this. This was on the key list. Look at the volume on that bar taking out those tops. That's what you're looking for. What else does it tell you to do? Not only get in OIH, but get in oil service stocks, which we have. Oil itself doesn't show a lot of power, okay, as you can see. Online retail, yeah, higher or low, but it's really lagging, be careful. Pharmaceuticals, not much power there, I'd be careful with that. QLD has a higher low setup, has a slight volume pickup. You see this today? Pushing through the 21-day. That could be a potential start. There you go. Watch that on Monday and see if it lifts. Takes out those highs from Friday. That could be a potential buy. And here's the beautiful part about these tactics we use in Mission Winners. Takes this out, but if it takes out the lows of the day, you could sell it for a very small loss. Now, this is a higher low setup. There's a ton of overhead. Be careful with that. All right? QQQ. By the way, I made videos several weeks ago when everybody was getting negative on the market, saying, there's nothing going on, there's nothing going on. Well, we had a pretty good lift here today, so we'll see what goes on. Retail, picking up a little bit, not a lot of power. Cloud computing, yeah, not a lot of power. Silver, it's kind of tarnished. Steel picked up a bit here. Look at that. Look at the difference here. So, yeah, some power. Look at that going across these tops. Steel, on a pickup in volume, something that bears watching. And not only the ETF, but steel stocks. It's easy for me to say. Semiconductors are starting to pick up a little bit, volume picking up. Maybe it'll push through the 21-day. Semiconductors. There's spiders. Look at the volume on the spiders today, folks. I talked about this in the room this afternoon a couple of times with SSO. See this? This is a higher low setup, pushing through the 21-day on a pickup in volume. That could be a potential plus. There you go. SSO, same situation. Look at the volume on this. You see that? That's pretty good. Okay? And here's a great lesson for everybody. Here's SSO, the spiders leveraged. Pickup. Here's QLD. Which one has more power? See the volume here? There's QLD, apples to apples. Here's SSO. There you go. SSO is a little bit stronger. Where would you go? SSO. There's a good lesson right there for everybody. Continue onwards. Solar, just kind of a double bottom. Didn't have a higher low. Ton of overhead. I'd avoid solar stocks. Small cap picked up a little bit. Higher low setup. Not a lot, less volume than yesterday. Uranium. Excuse me, I had to check this. Uranium picked up a little bit, but not much volume today. I'd be cautious with that. Oil, U.S. oil, United States oil, picking up, but note the volume. There was no power today. No conviction. Didn't take out yesterday's highs either. Aerospace defense picked up, but no volume power. You like everything working for you. Doesn't have it. Biotech just going sideways. Nothing there. I'd avoid biotech. Home builders, yeah, good volume, but had a lower low. Tons of overhead. It's nothing there. I'd be careful with that. Materials, picking up a little bit, has a higher low. Ton of overhead here, okay? But it does have a higher low, something to look into, okay? Energy, another energy ETF. We own this. Look at the volume pickup across these tops right here. You see that? And it's working. Leading groups and leading stocks. What else do we own? We own a lot of energy stocks too. The scans force us to look at the leading groups and the leading stocks in those groups. There you go. Financials, higher low, but kind of choppy, kind of wide and loose here. Be careful with the financials. Industrials, big reversal bar here, folks. Lifting off. Industrials, oh, that's good to see. Technology, picking up a little bit. We need more power, okay? Something to watch. Consumer staples, there's not a lot of power there. I'd be careful there. Utilities, it's utilities, nothing really great there. Healthcare, picking up a little bit. Over the 50-day, that's a plus, but it's wide and loose. Be cautious with the healthcare. Consumer discretionary, higher low setup, picking up. Have you noticed how many times I've said higher low? That's relevant to decision making. It shows that maybe if, we fall. Goes up, we fall. And this low's higher than this low. A potential reversal of the trend. There we go. Metals and mining picking up a little bit. Doesn't look too bad. Oil. See the theme here? You can say, boy, that doesn't look too bad. Yes, it doesn't. And it didn't look too bad back here. That's why we're involved with oil. Retail, nothing here. And it didn't even have heavy volume today. I'd be cautious with retail. Software's up, but not a lot of power. I'd be cautious there.
Did you know that Mission Winners is more than just a YouTube channel? We have a full-fledged VIP membership site with live chart analysis, live question and answer sessions, live buy and sell alerts, VIP-only Twitter, VIP-only Discord, and thousands of archived educational videos. So if you're ready to begin mastering the charts, head over to missionwinners.com and join us today.
So now let's look at the MAXLIST. Here's the first one. Apple's picking up on a pickup in volume, and it's pushing through the 21-day. Potential change and improving leadership. We'll see. Notice I said potential. I'm not saying it is. By the way, it doesn't have a higher low setup. It's just kind of pushing up. The best thing it could do would be to fall, put in a higher low, and then take off. You see this higher low right here? This low is higher than this low. And you see this lift? We had buys here and here. That was a good run. That's a higher low setup. This doesn't have that at this point in time. But I do like that it lifted up on a pickup in volume. So that's just everything. That's the analysis for you. Amazon pushing through the 21-day. Slight volume pickup. Slight volume. but it doesn't have a higher low, okay? This is a higher low. This low is higher than this low. We had buys in here. That was a good run. Right here, you got to watch it and see what happens. Alibaba, lower low. Compare and contrast. Look at this. Here's Amazon, kind of grinding up, right? Here's Alibaba. It's got a lower low. It's lagging. Stay away from them. Stay away from it. BIDU, lower low. Look at this. Stay away from it. That's simple. That is a powerful foundation for you. Where to go and things to avoid. Continue onwards. Google has a higher low. This low is higher than this low, and a pickup on a pickup in volume. That is constructive. Ton of overhead supply, all right? We'll have to watch it and see what happens, but it's starting to show some life, okay? I need to pause here and share this with everybody. I was an IBD meetup co-leader for 12 years, firmly ingrained in the system, the CanSlim system. I love it. Bill O'Neill changed my life. He really did. I mean, I sat down with him, had lunch. He's awesome. Here's the important part. Everybody's, oh, follow-through day, let's go. Remember this, good follow-through days must also have good stocks in good groups breaking out of clean and simple bases with good volume surges. Those constraints must be met. That's very important. That will really help you and prove your potential of making money and controlling risk. So let's continue on here. Just had to share that with you. Goldman Sachs is starting to show increasing leadership, and that's good to see. Didn't have a higher low, all right, but it is picking up, and it had, you can say, oh, look at this, that's great. I'd like you to look really close at the open on this bar and the close. Close near the lows. There's some overhead supply. Where did it stop going up, folks? Right here at the 50-day. Now, today, on Friday, it pushed through the 50-day. Needs to get through that falling 200-day, though. So be careful with that, all right? There's a lot of overhead. Say, really? Is there? You tell me. See? There you go. So let's continue onwards. I try to make the charts big enough that you can see the data, but not so big that we don't miss some relevant data. Continue onwards. There's Meta. In 1 second, this tells you what? Stay away from it. Just stay away from it. There's nothing going on here. It didn't even take out yesterday's lows. Forget it. You can say, well, it might go. I don't like playing the mic game. All right. I want to try to stack the deck in my favor as best as possible. Microsoft, compare and contrast. Here's Meta. Look at the daily. Here's Microsoft. Let's see. This is pushing through the 21-day. Yeah, this is below the 8-day still. Stay away from it. Microsoft looks a little bit better. Higher low setup. This low is higher than this low. Volume pickup pushing through the 21-day, that's the 21-day exponential, by the way. So watch this. Maybe some of the bigger technology stocks will start to pick up. A lot of overhead supply, though. Be careful with that. All right? Continue onwards. Netflix. This is lifting up. I have to share this with you. We own this. This was on the key list. You see right here, pushing through there on that volume pickup? That was the first buy. Bought more, then we got the gift. Okay? Sold some into strength. We're in great shape. But I'd like to show you something. Right there, taking out the highs at around, we'll call it, what is that? Around 230. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Pushing through this line right here. 239. 238, 239. Here's a great lesson for everybody. This is something we teach at Mission Winners. And yeah, VIPs own this. That's good move, folks. That's good. Take it to the hourly. You see this little shelf right here? And I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to take it down to 30-minute and show you. See that little shelf right there? Going across this, you can see it better on the hourly. Just going across these tops here. Look at the volume pickup on that bar. That's huge. I can even do this for you. Watch this. I'll take this off. And again, these are the things we do and these are the things we teach. There it is. The highs on this bar, close to the highs on this bar. There you go. Pushes through on heavy volume. Lifts up, pulls back to support, and then you get the rocket ship. That's a MAXLIST stock. There you go. That's how it works. Now, let's take it a step further. Here's the daily chart again. You can see the base, lower level down here, right? Lower level entry there on the daily, pushing off the 50-day and the 21-day, right? Right there. I'll do something. I really want to drive home the point for you. I take this seriously. Say, oh, there's a base right here. Maybe if it takes out that line with volume, that'd be pretty good. Oh, gee whiz, it does. There you go. Buys in here, does this, we sit, or we sold a little bit up here before earnings, then you get the gift. And the gift that keeps on giving. There you go. And it works. Continue onwards. NVDA, it's starting to grind up here, but it's pretty rough here. I'd be careful with that. Tesla, this has a lower low here. This just chopping around here. I'd leave this alone for now. But by the way, you say, oh, you never liked Tesla? You see the low here versus the low here? This was on the key list for buy, and that was a really good move for us. Higher low setup, folks. There it is. We don't have to impose our will. It'll tell us what to do. And it was also reinforced by the action of the major market indices, ETFs, QLD, SSO. Let's continue onward. Here we go. Twitter. Twitter's involved with talks, with Elon Musk and everything. And I don't know what's going to happen there. Talks like this, for right now, I just leave it alone. It can work out great and go up, but if it doesn't, it'll drop. I don't know what's going to happen, but I want to stack the deck in my favor, and I don't like to play that kind of news. That's the max list to get a better view of where money is going, potential opportunity, and areas to stay away.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.